So on with the program, as you might know, the mission of Autism Society of Ventura County is to improve the lives of people affected by autism. We're promoting lifelong access and opportunities for families, and we're their advocates, you know. If we don't do it for our children, who else is going to do it, right? Or for somebody, a friend, a neighbor. And like I had mentioned earlier, there's somebody that I think everyone knows. So it's definitely a process, but it's nonetheless a grateful one. We achieve this through education, advocacy. We're out there advocating for our kids at the IEP meetings, going to all these organizations and programs to find out more information, to research, and also increase with public awareness. Awareness and collaborating with other agencies. I feel like it's our job, my mission for being on the board is awareness. That's my main goal. And of course, we couldn't achieve this without everyone else. We couldn't do this alone. Look around you, all these beautiful people and beautiful faces, and you'll hear that later, where we collaborate and support with individuals and organizations in our community. We are also an affiliate of a nationwide organization with the same mission, which allows us to connect throughout the country, and then we magnify our voices in our very own community. We work together, and inclusion outside our immediate community, this happens in our backyard. So before we begin with the Ventura County Awesome and Autism presentations, I'd like to introduce a very special guest tonight, who actually flew all the way from Maryland just for the occasion. Scott Badish is the President and CEO of National Autism Society of America, and we'll get our awards started tonight.
I flew here and had the pleasure of sitting next to a 1-year-old for the entire trip. And after 5 hours and 28 minutes, because I counted it, fell asleep the moment the plane landed. So, no, he was a nice kid. First, I want to, on behalf of the Autism Society of America, thank the board of this wonderful organization and the staff, and all of you. Give yourself a real round of applause. This is a place that if you have autism, if you're a family member impacted by autism, this is a community that cares and values and respects every person with autism. So God bless you guys, and thank you very much. So give yourself a round of applause. The reason I'm here is for a real special reason. Like you all are doing tonight, the Autism Society of America gives out national awards. And they're very competitive. We have 84 affiliates. The system served about 650,000 people last year. And we have a tremendous amount of nominations for our awards. And we give out our awards at our national conference, which we held this past July. Because every year we held in Bethesda, right outside of Washington. And one of the one of the winners of our award is from this community. And that person couldn't show up to our meeting because that person decided to have a baby last year. And as much as we said, hey, he's 1-year-old, leave him alone. So, you got to keep this kid young. But every year we choose a volunteer of the year. And I was looking at some numbers at our office last year. We deal with about 9,000 volunteers who are active volunteers throughout the Autism Society. And each year we get a lot of them. But this year, one went to the top of the list, and that was Carly. And those who don't know her, I was thinking this today, that every one of us in our life meets someone that when you're done with him, you say, that is one good person. That's a person that I want to call as a friend, but I also know I can call when I'm having a concern or a question. I can ask her. Carly is not only the outstanding president of this organization for a couple of years, she is very active in our organization. She's on our panel for people on the spectrum. and advising our board of directors and our affiliate network. She's involved with our affiliate network. She doesn't know how to say no. Which probably Brian won't like a lot, right? But more importantly, she gives back. And our award for a volunteer is someone who we want others to see that this is the best of volunteering. So Carly, if you could come up here. This is 7 days, 24 hours for her. She works at Bank of America for her, where she's very involved in promoting the well-being and the support and accommodations for people with disabilities, and particularly autism. She just is doing so much good, and this is a real gem you have in this community. We're going to steal her for our board as soon as she gets off of this board. But she's just a wonderful person. We gave this award to her in abstention at our meeting, but I said, look, we want to come out and give it to you. So it's on behalf of the board of directors and the staff of the Autism Society of America and 650,000 people who serve. It's our honor to give you our 2018 Volunteer of the Year Award.
It didn't occur to me that I could find such an amazing group of people to work with every day. And really for me, it's all about being able to give back. Just like you said, I don't want the next generation to have to go through what I went through growing up, trying to figure it out all on my own. I want to be there to support people, whether it's coaching a person one-on-one or being able to develop some of the amazing programs that we're doing through ASVC. I'm just really, really happy to work with all of you.
Thank you, Scott, and once again, congratulations to Carly for your volunteer work with ASVC and beyond. Now, locally, closer to home, we have an amazing lineup of individuals as well as groups making a difference in lives every single day throughout our county. So I'm actually going to be calling up board members to introduce the awardees, and you'll hear from our awardees as well. And we actually have, one of the board members wasn't able to make it, so Carly is going to introduce 3 of the awardees. One's Individual of the Year. That's actually where we'll start.
Thank you so much. So, as a woman with autism, I'm especially happy to be able to give this year's Individual of the Year award to a young woman who has autism herself, and she's truly remarkable. She's only 15 years old, but Caitlin Rose Ford is our Individual of the Year, and she's overcome so many obstacles throughout her life, but with the support of her family, she truly is thriving. She's worked on her independence by learning to ride a bike, she's attending school, and has served her school as her Associated Student Body Treasurer. So come on up here.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Ford. I would like to thank, this is a big honor for me. I would like to thank my mom, Alex, and my family who's over there cheering me on over there. And I would like to thank the most too is my life coach, Elaine. She's been through a part of me, and she has been through my life. And I would like to thank my mom, who is over there taking a photo of me. And I would like to thank my sister Leah, who gave me this because she knows how much I mean to her, and I love her so much. She's Teacher of the Year, just so you know. I love her. So I like to thank my friend. I like to thank my mom's best friend, Diana, her daughter Sarah, my friend Leanne, Emily, Rudy, my nephew Devin, and Liv. I'd like to thank all those people. And I'd like to thank my sister Amanda, who has been, my mom and my sisters have been the biggest progress of me. I love them so much. I'm going to cry even if I do say them. And I'm happy I won Individual of the Year. I'd like to thank my friends, my family, the people who are important to me. And I'm happy I accomplished all these goals, and I'm happy I attended school. And I would like to, thanks.
Have really truly become a family for us all. And so Brian and Kristen Thompson, they are truly the most remarkable couple we have in our community. They, in honor of their son, they founded Reed's Gift, which has so many programs that have run so successfully to help with art opportunities and entrepreneurship for people with autism in our community. And they also lead Train for Autism. So they help find coaches and support runners on weekly training runs, and they are also great volunteers at Autism Run every year. I especially love watching you pass out medals. So thank you both for your tireless dedication. We're really, really grateful for everything you do.
For those of you that don't know our family story, we've been part of Autism Society for about, hello? Better? Better? Okay, well I have a parent of 2 boys, so I'm fine with talking We've been a part of Autism Society of Ventura County for about 20 years now because our youngest son, Reed, was on a spectrum. Unfortunately, at the age of 11, he passed away in 2007, and he passed of a major seizure. But we really weren't done being Reed's parents and helping those on the spectrum and giving back to our community. Dr. Molly Rarick, who's not here tonight, she founded Reed's Gift. It's now employs over 50 people over 3 different sites. They're doing tailor services, an art studio. They're doing some really fantastic work. If we didn't have that organization to give back to, we would truly be at a loss. It would really, really be extra sad for us. We're fortunate for that. We're also really blessed by our Wednesday night run group, our Train for Autism family. Coaches, can I have you stand up, please? January, it's 40 degrees out, cold, at 6:30. We're out there because, as you guys know, people like structure and routine, right? So these coaches have helped coach dozens and dozens of athletes through their first 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, and they just give of their time so freely. And thank you guys so much for everything that you do. It's awesome. At the time, Kristen was just dating me. I was a single dad with 2 kids, and one with special needs. We survived Reed's loss, and then she lost her father shortly thereafter. And then we said, after that, there's nothing that we can't do together as a couple. And so we were actually married here at the Pierpont Inn. And this is where we have our wedding reception. It's even more special. Thank you very much.
And she's also recruits other volunteers, which we always love. So she, whether it's the pool party or Aunt to Run, she's always willing to come and lend a hand. And this year in particular, my board wanted to recognize her with our first ever volunteer award that we've given out, because while I was on maternity leave, she completely took over the Gifts Pavilion at Aunt to Run. And so that was really huge for us, because that's a very important part to run for ASVC. And with me being out, we really needed somebody to step up and take over, and she rose to the challenge. And so we're very, very grateful for all of your support of ASVC. Camera, you want to come on up?
Does this work?
Yes.
Yay. Because I don't have 3 boys at home and I don't have the voice that you do. I do just want to thank Chloe and, now you probably have to talk closer. There we go. That's probably the other one. Okay. Since I was about 6 years old, I mentored a autistic young girl and didn't really know that she was any different than anyone else. And fast forward to meeting Carly, and she sent out this email about 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, asking for help for the Autism Run. And I watched everyone say, sorry, can't, sorry, can't, sorry, can't. I'm like, why? Of course we can. And of course, I texted my friends who are part of the Girl Scouts of America, Carol being one of them. And I said, hey, can you guys help me? And my dear friend Jill, she joined the first year with me, and my friend Teresa, who's here with us tonight, she joined. And, it's just been great to be able to give back to such a wonderful organization. So, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Congratulations to the awardees so far, and thank you so much for that, Carly. For the next 2 awards, one is Community Member of the Year, and the other is Funding Partner of the Year. I would like to introduce Jennifer.
So as the circle of support grows in the families and community, we find that it's so important to have champions for inclusivity. And the individuals, through their positions in the community, move forward our mission. Our next awardee is such a person. And I'm so excited to introduce her because I know her. So as the Recreation Supervisor of the Conejo Rec and Park District, Cecilia Laufenberg. And over the years, I've just watched her work, Park and Rec, and just grow that program. She's done just amazing things. So she's created the Sensibility Playground, and then the Conejo Park and Rec Valley, the Conejo Valley Therapeutic Advisory Committee, which provides advocacy, financial, and long-term support for the therapeutic park services. So members of this working community represent various aspects of the special population served by the therapeutic park unit and help guide the direction of the therapeutic unit. Throughout all of her work, she strives to bring people and agencies together to improve the lives of those we serve. Cecilia, we so appreciate all your effort.
Everyone. I didn't really know I was going to say anything, but I was thinking about this, and there's nothing that I have put my hand to that others in this room and beyond haven't put their hands to also. So together, this community that we're all a part of is a very special thing. I've come to know this over the years, that you all make it a very wonderful community for my family member, for myself as a parent, and all of the agencies that I've become acquainted with all work so well together, very generously, with hearts in all the same place. Does that make sense? I didn't say that well, but We get it.
But you all are the community. So thank you all because you make it a wonderful place for my family member, myself, and each other. So thank you.
Okay, so this next award is presented to an employee of the county, state, federal funding agency who provides case management and funding services for individuals on the autism spectrum. This includes the nonprofit regional centers and the Department of Rehab. We know that it's a fact of life that we can't go through the autism journey without assistance from these funding partners. We also know that, as with anything, quality of services is so important, and we want to acknowledge when we encounter people who do their jobs and demonstrate just unwavering commitment. So integrity and the continuous collaboration efforts to support individuals and their families. Kenya Dominguez is such an individual. She works tirelessly to provide supportive services for individuals with autism and other disabilities so they can live their life on their own home safely. So you provide in-home support services, yes. Okay, great. We heard from families where she has collaborated with them to help their individuals and their families. And she is always approachable and prompt and responsive and to the inquiries and clarifying all their questions. So Kenya, we just want to say thank you for all of your efforts and support to help all of these wonderful families.
Good evening. So yes, my name is Kenya Dominguez. I work for Ventura County. Even though I'm currently working for in-home supportive services, I do have a little bit of background of autism. I actually was once upon a time a behavioral therapist for a program called STAR. I hope it still exists. Yes? Okay. So I was and do have background with working with families that have autism or family members with autism, so it's in my heart, you know. But at the same time, working with the Human Services Agency, their main goal is to help and support families in the whole county as much as possible. And in our case, in Home Supportive Services, I feel that every time I go and I'm welcomed into someone's home, because that's what happens. Families invite me into their homes and they tell me their stories. So myself as a social worker, the best work I can do is one, listen and do my best to evaluate what their needs are, and from Ventura County, really just try and help them as much as possible. And if in-home supportive services is the way to help them, then I hope that I am doing my job, so maybe I am doing my job today. Yes, we really try, myself and my department, to try our best with families with autism, and this is great. Thank you so much. I'm deeply humbled. Did not expect the nomination to begin with. I saw the email and I told my supervisor, is this real? Am I allowed to go and get this? Social worker, really? So thank you. Thank you so much for everyone that nominated me and those board members that kept me on. So thank you so much. Thank you for that, Jennifer. We're going to go ahead and continue with the awardees. This time around, we're going to award service provider for both youth and adults. So I would like to ask Ashley to come forward.
Hello. Very excited to present the two service awardee awards tonight, because as a parent of the individual on the spectrum, by the time we get to the fun stuff, we're kind of tired. It can be exhausting just finding the services that we really need to get through day to day. So it's always fun to celebrate those organizations that provide extracurricular activities and life enrichment activities. So we are lucky enough to live in a county where youth services are a priority. and every town has parks and recs. And there's Boys and Girls Club and YMCA, AYSO VIP, and the list goes on and on. However, for individuals with special needs, these lists don't mean anything unless they're backed by dedicated individuals and staff who understand the differences in our community and the needs of the individuals they serve. Our next awardee saw a need and moved to make a difference. Jamie Hoffke has a long history of working with nonprofits and trying to make a difference, making a difference. As aquatics coordinator at Cameron YMCA, Jamie saw the need for a specific adaptive swim program. She worked with her management to develop this program, and as she got the program off the ground, she stayed connected with the Autism Society, and we actually put on a workshop together to train other local aquatic programs how to deal with children and adults with varying needs. We know that water safety is a particular concern in our community. Jamie understands this and makes it a priority to work with individuals to help them achieve their goals and stay safe while enjoying the process and providing a sensory-friendly and supportive environment. Jamie, I'd like to call you up and thank you for leading.
So excited to get this. I really want to thank the Autism Society for letting me do a training and thank them for sending me the email that I sent to my supervisor and said, this is my goal for next year. I was a little shocked when it was a few weeks later and Carol was standing there handing me a balloon. So I'd like to thank the Y for letting me do this crazy thing. This summer we started an adaptive swim program, and since July, I think it was July 7th, we've helped, just in that particular class, we've had 13 children with special needs get the personalized attention that they need for swim lesson. We've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with some kids with autism, and they told us the things that would make our program help other kids, and it was such a great opportunity to have them be able to come and sit down, and I think that that's what makes our program unique. So thank you again to the Y for letting me do this, and thank you to the Autism Society for supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. For our adult service provider of the year, Rick Ross. I think that's us pressing the button. We're back on now. Hello. Hello. All right, we're back on, everyone. Sorry about that. Our next awardee, Actors for Autism, serves to fill the gap with adult services by providing programs and a place for individuals to explore their interests and experience growth, often leading to improved social skills and successful employment. Their programs focus on animation, video game design, film, visual effects, and coding. But they also have programs in resume development, social skills in the workplace, self-advocacy, interview skills, apprenticeship, and customized employment. If you weren't familiar with the Actors for Autism Hub, please make sure to connect with them on social media and beyond. Dr. Lisa Wolf is here representing Actors for Autism. Dr. Lisa, would you please come up? Thank you so much.
Well, we're just so honored to be acknowledged this year. You know, we've been providing services in LA County for the last 20 years. We just recently opened up a location in the Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park area, but we're not new to providing services for children and adults on the autistic spectrum. And our goal has always been to provide new and innovative programs for people with disabilities. And in the technology field, we've found that a lot of the students are extremely successful, and our goal is always for them to have gainful employment. And so that's what we strive to do every day And we have a number of success stories of students right now who are working at companies in all aspects of the industry. So I encourage you, if you haven't heard about us or you'd like to tour a facility, please contact me and I'd be happy to give you a personal tour. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introductions, Ashley, and congratulations to the awardees so far. I would now like to invite Kelly Kaser. Come on up.
Good evening. I've been a civil rights attorney for over 15 years. And I've spent many long hours working with families, helping them advocate for their children in the education setting. I have my own daughter with autism, who I also advocate for in the education system. So I know firsthand the difference an educator can make in the lives of children that are on the spectrum. The school system is not perfect. But it's the rare individuals in that system that give me hope that heroes do exist to support our young students. Miss Amy Dobzinski has worked to be that kind of individual. Her short tenure in her school district, she has already received many accolades and was described by her nominator as having very infectious enthusiasm and a boundless heart for teaching kids on the spectrum. Amy teaches in a visually structured classroom and strives to find ways to make learning interesting and engaging, but is also mindful in keeping her students safe. Just as important, her professionalism should be recognized as she understands the importance of ensuring progress reports and IEPs are created and presented correctly, and parents are kept informed regarding their sons and daughters. So thank you, Amy, for your dedication and commitment, and we wish you the best in continuing to be an infectious force and advocate in our county. Miss Amy, please come up.
Wow, okay, so this looks a lot different than standing in front of a classroom of 10 students who are all in second and third grade, but I'm a teacher, so anyway. I'm extremely honored and humbled to be here this evening and to receive this award. I am not a teacher for the fame or for the glory or for the recognition. I absolutely love what I do. I am working my dream job with students who have autism. Every day is a new day. Every day is a challenge. Every day is what we try to make amazing. While I'm busy teaching social skills and curriculum, math and reading, of course, those important things, these wonderful little people teach me just as much about the world around them as I need to bestow upon them. And I'm trying really hard not to cry. I'm a crier and I'm infectious with enthusiasm, but I also wear my heart on my sleeve, so that's me. I'm really grateful for the support of my husband. I work a lot of hours both in the classroom and outside of the classroom getting things ready for my students. Last night I was busy typing social stories and getting things ready for some special events today. I have a fabulous team at Camarillo Heights, and I'm glad a few of them can join me this evening to celebrate. And I absolutely love working with the families and our team within Pleasant Valley School District. So thank you very much to the Autism Society of Ventura County for this award.
There's nothing wrong with crying, girl. You got a heart, right? Thank you so much for that introduction, Kelly. I would like to now invite, and we're going to introduce the award for Educator Integrated Classroom. Where is Scott? It's you, Scott.
Hi, everybody. An important part of a school team is there's sort of a forgotten person in this in the whole IEP world, and that's the role of the inclusion teacher, the teacher who may not work specifically with individuals with special needs, but welcomes those children into her classroom with open arms, creates inclusive opportunities for them, and really fosters all kinds of social growth that can stick with the kids we work with throughout their lifespan. So tonight we're going to honor Valerie Fulgham, who is a teacher at Poinsettia Elementary. I've had the pleasure of working with Valerie with a number of clients who have gone through our program. She is fantastic. She treats our children in her classroom just like every other kid, which is all we can ask for. So thank you so much, Val.
Welcome. Well, I'm out of my comfort zone because you're not all 9-year-olds. So, throughout the years, it's been my privilege to teach children on the autism spectrum. These students join my 4th grade class for part of the day, maybe for a subject, half day, full day. Sometimes they come with a paraeducator and sometimes not. But regardless of any time spent in our 4th grade class, once they're there, they're family. And because of this, when they're gone, they're very much missed. And when they return, they are heartily welcomed. Because that's what family does. And that's what we do in room 15. Students on the spectrum, just like any other students, come into the classroom with their own sets of observations, insights, skills, and working with everyone, hopefully achieve a productive and positive outcome. All my students are responsible for their curriculum, for activities and projects, reports, building things, and experiments, but this doesn't happen overnight. It is a long process. It takes time and patience, structure, repetition, but with all these things set in place, success is achieved. It's been my good fortune to work with colleagues at Poinsettia Elementary that are kind and caring and encouraging to all students. It makes it a rather inspirational place to teach. I have high praise for my principal, Beth Harris, who is a wealth of knowledge and resource, not just for me, but to everyone on campus. I want to thank the multitude of parents who have entrusted me with their children over the years for their education. And hats off to the many, many, many fine paraeducators I've had the good fortune to work with over the years. Their expertise, their experience, their support has helped to guide me in my teaching. Thank you to my good friends. Thank you to my family very much, who just puts up with me. And evidently, that's not been so easy. But mostly, I'm forever grateful for those little heads that pop around the corner, come across the threshold, and find their place, because they will always have a place in the 15. Thank you so much to the Autism.
Thank you for that, Scott. We're actually going to be taking, oh, you guys ready? Oh, awesome. Okay, so the next awardee is going to go to Educator Secondary. So I would like to call Samuel up so you can introduce the next awardee.
And I have distinct pleasure of announcing this year's winner for the Post-Secondary Education Autism Award. This year's award goes to Dr. Tina Ikonen, a professor at Cal State Channel Islands. I had a course with Dr. Ikonen, and not only learned a great deal, but I also experienced her inclusivity and respect for all of her students, including those on the autism spectrum. She teaches students who will go on to be educators and policymakers. She is passionate about educating others how to better understand and support individuals with disabilities, including autism. Now, I am even more honored to accept this award on behalf of Professor Ikonen. She is unable to be here this evening. She has prepared this acceptance speech. You only need to imagine it with a Finnish accent. Laugh out loud. Here it is. Dear board members of Ventura County Autism Society, friends, guests, and everyone here today, I want to thank the Autism Society for this recognition. I am honored, humbled, and deeply touched. I actually first thought perhaps there had been some mistake. This award also recognizes the California State University Channel Islands and my two departments, the School of Education and Political Science. Most of all, this is an award for my university students who continuously help me to become a better teacher, a better advocate, and a better researcher. Let me tell you a brief story of something that has shaped who I am and what I do. My mother taught my sister and I too, Lanola, Bloomer Blomma. It is Swedish and means let all flowers bloom. Yes, I am from Finland, but we have two official languages. I grew up speaking both. These words have guided me through life. My mother was the person behind the scenes who made it happen so that our family friend's daughter, Malin, could attend her neighborhood village school on a small island. She was the first child in my native country who was fully included with supports. Malin would otherwise have had to take a daily postal bus to and from a mainland school which was for so-called different children. This would have included a 30-minute ferry ride each way, often in dark, icy and snowy conditions. There was probably a battle with the school district, since this kind of arrangement had never been made before in the country. But it happened. Last fall, Malin, now a 26-year-old woman, made the 5-hour trip from the island to be at my mother's funeral. She has bloomed, if you allow me to use the flower metaphor, and has taken classes in a community college as a young adult. What this story tells us is two things. One, everyone belongs. It is for us to figure out the ways in which to provide support so that no one is sent away. Two, this story illustrates that after the children who went to school with their siblings and friends grow up to be young adults, the next natural step is post-secondary education. This is the work the Autism Society understands. As the doors to higher education have begun to open for those who have historically been excluded, new opportunities unfold. One such opportunity is becoming published, which is an academic milestone. My former student Samuel Capozzi is now indeed an internationally published author. He shared his journey to higher education with his article in Tangata Group's International Disability Advocacy Forum. The article has reached readers from the Nordic countries all the way to African nations. Samuel's piece is paving the path for others, just like my mother did a long time ago with her advocacy. This path is not always easy. There are icy conditions at times, using the Nordic ferry metaphor, which we have to overcome. But the direction is inevitable. It is an evolution and a continuation of previous struggles in allowing access to other historically underrepresented groups in higher education, women, minorities, students with disabilities. Now it is the turn for historically underrepresented students who have less traditional support needs. It is doable. We have to, because it is the right thing to do. I regret I cannot be here tonight to meet each and every one of you, and thank you in person. Samuel has my email address for those who would like to have it. Thank you again for this honor and for letting me be part of this work of opening doors. I am deeply thankful and humbled. What a privilege to accept this award on Dr. Itkinen's behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel, for sharing your personal experience with us. That was amazing. We're going to continue on with our awards. I would now like to call up Sharon, who will be introducing Employer of the Year, as well as Lifetime Achievement.
I'd like to call up Carrie from Vaughn's, who will be accepting on their behalf tonight. We have heard about and from great individuals and grassroots community organizations. As a local employer myself, I'm glad to be able to recognize an organization like Vaughn's, a Fortune 100 company and one of the largest food and drug retailers in North America, for recognizing the value of individuals with special needs as part of the workforce. We have seen firsthand Vaughn's inclusive job practices. We are hopeful for your example to employers who need a role model, interested today in multiple bottom lines. Independence through employment opens many doors for individuals. Carrie is here to accept on behalf of Vaughn's. Thank you for recognizing the benefits of hiring individuals on the spectrum and being that role model.
Kerry Mealiff, I'm an area manager in Ventura County for Vaughn's and Albertsons. On behalf of Vaughn's and Albertsons companies, I want to thank you for this honor. I am really here today as an extension of our amazing management teams in the stores who provide job opportunities to people of all abilities. We recognize and appreciate the variety of backgrounds and characteristics that make individuals unique while providing a work environment that promotes and celebrates individual and collective achievement. We are not just a grocery store in a community. We really want to be and are part of the community. Thank you again for this recognition. I am proud to share this with our stores who bring this commitment to life each and every day. Thank you very much.
Okay, our final award for the evening is a new award for the Autism Society Ventura County, and one very special to my heart and the heart of a lot of others in the room. Our Lifetime Achievement Shining Star Award is being presented to Jeff Sweisinger, and on behalf of him, his daughters, I believe, are going to come up, so if they can do that right now. Joined by Jeff's wife and their mom. Jeff dedicated his life to helping children and adults with special needs and their families. His life was tragically cut short earlier this year in a tragic accident. As someone who had the opportunity to work with Jeff for 25 years at work training programs, which is now called PathPoint, and then at Tri-County's Regional Center, I can't think of a better individual to receive our first Shining Star Lifetime Achievement Award. We welcome Jeff's family and co-workers. If you're in the room, you can stand, to celebrate all his contributions, his dedication, and acknowledge all the lives he assisted throughout the years of service to our community.
couple of years ago, when my father died, the theme of my father's funeral was Irish. My father was very proud of his culture, and we made sure that his funeral reflected who he was. A little time later, we met with some friends, and we talked about when you leave this earth, what do you think will be your theme? My father's theme was Irish. Now, those of us who know Jeff very well, his theme was always helper. Jeff never said no to anyone, except for me occasionally. Jeff was always about the helping, but he did not see it that way. It was his nature. He just, for Jeff, it was like breathing. He never said no to anybody. He always wanted to help. When Jeff died a few months ago, there was a mother who made a point to come up to me at the funeral, and she told me that Jeff was her daughter's caseworker. And she was telling me that when Jeff learned that her daughter was being bullied, he got on the phone, called the principal, and made sure that the school was aware of it. This was pure Jeff. Jeff was always about helping. Now, as a professional, I'm sure Jeff, he always accommodated his workers or his families, because Jeff was always about fixing the problem. Always. As parents, you know, I was a little rigid. He was a little fixing the girls' problems, and yet as a team, it worked beautifully. A few months after Jeff died, my niece Alicia had a dream where her Uncle Jeff came to her, and he said to her that he was so happy and everything was so beautiful. And somehow when people came to him, I don't know if these were new souls, I don't know, but Jeff was able to fix people with his iPad. I can't tell you how much this is pure Jeff. Those of you who know him, this is pure Jeff. The integration of helping and technology. Perfect Jeff. At the end of our lives, if we can say we made a difference, then we know this was a life well lived. Jeff's life, it made a difference. So as his family, my daughters and I, we are very happy to accept this recognition of really, it is Jeff's body of work. Jeff and I were together 30 years. The entire time I knew him, his life was about helping others, always. Different companies, but always helping others. So I really want, the girls and I want to thank you for this recognition of Jeff's, what I consider his body of work. Thank you very much.